Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Amazing Shinsengumi, Heroes in Love. We are on Okita Soji's route, Chapter 5, Don't Overdo It. In the last episode, we kind of gave him a sponge bath, which was really enjoyable, but we were a little bit shy about it. Oh man, that was an awesome scene though. He spent pretty much the whole chapter shirtless. Well, let's see if anything interesting happens in this one or if it just gets sad. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Led by Toshizo, we arrived at Isami's room. For Soji, it was fine, but this wasn't a place I could casually go into. There must have been some strange circumstance for me to be called here.
Yesterday, we got word that those trying to overthrow the shogunate have come to the capital. We still don't know where they're hiding. There are many of them, so we think they are taking shelter in houses throughout the city. Tomorrow we'll be patrolling the city on high alert. I understand, but... why did you bring me here?
Soji asked with a suspicious tone.
We have many candidates in mind. We have little to no information on them. That's where she comes in.
Me? You're gonna use me as a spy?
We want someone to infiltrate their ranks and supply us with information. You want her to spy on them for us?
Soji was shocked. I am too.
It's too dangerous.
I agree.
Chizuru is just a normal girl. That's why. As long as no one knows she's working for the Shinsengumi, no one will suspect her. I don't like it either, but... it's a fact that we don't have many people who could spy for us. We're not certain, but they seem to be secretly gathering people and planning something. We don't have much time. We'll use anyone we can. But this job is too much for her. We don't have to capture anyone or lure anyone out. All she has to do is go to the city and listen to gossip on the street.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
She might be able to get information from people who wouldn't tell us anything.
Isami eased the situation by explaining that there wouldn't be much danger.
Will you do it for us?
Toshizo looked at me and not Soji when he asked. I could tell he wanted to urge me to do it. If it's for Soji... that's... would I be helping Soji as well? The three of them seemed disappointed after I asked that.
I see. You'll work for Soji, but not for the shogunate or the emperor.
Soji became bright red after hearing Toshizo's sudden laughter.
What are you saying, Toshizo? She just meant... Well, what about you? It doesn't look like you want her to go, but... would this be of help to you?
Toshizo stared sharply at Soji, who tried to object. Oh, look at him blushing. Well, he was blushing.
Yes. If she cooperates, it will help me out a lot.
How? Soji said it as though he was biting his words. He had an unpleasant expression. Soji, I'm sorry. Even though you're worried,
That's fine. I had no authority to oppose your decision in the first place.
He desperately tried to cover for me. Even in front of Isami, whom he trusted his life to, and Toshizo, whom he trusted so much. Thinking that, my chest became hot.
Just don't overdo it. Please just come back unharmed.
He said that with a kind voice. I couldn't help but think about how we would be separated.
It seems you whittled him down. I apologize. If I'd known, I would have been more careful choosing someone.
Soji awkwardly replied that wasn't how things usually were. Look at him blushing. This is the first time I've seen Soji like this. He really does have a soft spot for Isami and Toshizo. For some reason, I was happy. I was then asked to work at an inn called Ikedaya. Yep, that's not a good place for me to be. It was true I didn't have any relatives, and my house got burned down. They employed me without the least bit of suspicion. You're always working so diligently, Chizuru. It's a big help even for me. Everyone was nice. The busy atmosphere looked distant. I guess this was the wrong place to go. I feel relieved, but I'm disappointed I couldn't be of help. From time to time, Yamazaki Susumu came to check on me. He was on patrol disguised as an apothecary. When we met, all we did was gossip in order not to raise suspicion. This was proof that nothing was happening. One day, the situation completely changed. For the worse, I guess. June 5th. It was a very humid summer day.
Still, it's quite frightening. This morning, the ragged wolves infiltrated Masuya's place, didn't they?
Susumu always gossiped in a cheerful voice.
It had something or other to do with weapons. I wonder if they were tortured after being captured. It is truly scary.
He wasn't trying to have a private conversation with his loud voice. He was probably trying to gauge how the people around us reacted to it.
After imagining that, I don't think I'll be able to sleep by myself. Chizuru, could you sleep with me?
After joking around, he firmly grabbed my hand. He gave me a piece of paper in the process. No way! Ask someone else to help you with that. I forcefully freed my hand and put both my hands on my chest. In that moment, I had the paper on my kimono. No one paid close attention to our talk. Is that really true? Did Masuya get captured by the ragged wolves? After Susumu left, one of my coworkers sounded nervous. Being tortured? The rumors are true. They really are savage murderers. I will disagree with her. That's not true at all. The Shinsengumi are kind and heroic men. Without thinking, I shouted, insisting their good traits. Even though I was trying not to do anything that would make me stand out. I just can't stand here after hearing someone badmouth them. Chizuru, are you close to the ragged wolves? She asked with a puzzled expression on her face. No, nothing like that. It's just house burned down. Oh, so they save people as well. I think my image of them has changed a little. I'm glad she understood. I think I was supposed to say they saved me when my house burned down or something. After that, I secretly checked the contents of the letter when I went to the bathroom. Masuya Kiemon. Thanks to Furutaka Shuntaro, a certain plot has been revealed. 20 days from now, on a night with a violent wind, they were going to burn the old imperial palace. In all the chaos, they planned to assassinate head figures and kidnap the emperor. Setting fire downwind on a night with violent wind. If they do that, Kyoto will... I was in shock at their frightening plan. I never understood the talk about the anti-foreigner movement or support for the shogunate. If everyone was in distress about the country's situation, why were they fighting? However, this was unforgivable. I once again thought about how reliable the Shinsengumi were, risking their lives to stop these people. The letter stated the Choshu domain might make their move since Masuya was captured. The chance of them coming here was high. It would be dangerous, so I was to leave by nightfall. If they come here, this place will certainly become a battlefield. There's no reason for me to impose on that kind of danger. Then again, is it really alright for me to just run away? Yeah, so you're not a burden. Oh god, I think I should stay. Fine. If I stay here, I might be able to guide them when the time comes. I was scared of getting caught up in the battle, but I wanted to do everything I could do to help. For the Shinsengumi who protected Kyoto, and for Soji's safety. I burned the letter and returned to work as if nothing had happened. Susumu returned in the evening because he forgot something. Making up an excuse to go outside with him, I told him I was staying. I promised to cooperate in case this was their meeting place. He made a sour face. If Soji was here, I'm sure he'd be angry with me. Even though we were only separated for a few days, I missed him. That night, the masterless samurai gathered at Ikedaya to have a meeting. Just because they were with the Choshu didn't mean they wanted to overthrow the shogunate. But I could tell they were restless. From the things I heard them say, there was no mistaking it. I didn't think it would come to this. I was unbearably nervous, but I tried to do my best not to show it. Susumu told me he would come, so I gave him the signal by waving a lamp in the window. Then, late at night, Isami, the leader of the Shinsengumi himself, came to Ikedaya's front door. Hearing the Shinsengumi come, the owner of the Ikedaya panicked and rushed toward the back. Near the stairwell in the back, they again stated they were on official business. In that instant, I undid the latch and opened the wooden door. Isami came through the door first. He rushed to the stairwell in the back and climbed up to the second floor, passing the owner. Next, Soji chased after him.
Go hide somewhere,
he told me as he passed by. I was happy just hearing that. After Soji, Shinpachi and Heisuke came next. But they didn't seem to have enough people to block the front and back entrances. Without time to worry, fights broke out on the first and second floors. The sounds of screams, roars, and crashing blades could be heard throughout the night. I hid myself in a corner, and then I heard someone descend from the second floor.
Multiple people ran into the garden. Don't let them get away.
Isami's voice echoed in the night. If Isami came down, then that means Soji's upstairs by himself? I'm worried about Soji. Of course I'm worried about him. I'm worried about Soji after all. I know he's strong, but if something were to happen, I couldn't stand waiting there. I knew it was dangerous, but I had to go up to the second floor. Foolish woman! Cautious of my surroundings, I slowly climbed up the stairs. All the lights had gone out on the second floor, and it was enclosed in darkness. It was very quiet. Wind blew from an open window, and I smelled the scent of blood. Soji? When I said that, someone jumped out from one of the rooms. He's not Soji? He fell over and looked confused. With a sword in his hand, he came toward me. Unable to keep in my fear, I screamed. A blade glimmered in the darkness, and then, with a clash, two pieces of metal hit each other. The blades danced again, and the man's shadow fell down.
Are you okay, Chizuru? You're not hurt, are you?
Soji came to me with his sword drawn. Seeing the tip of his sword broken, I inferred it was an intense battle. I'm glad he's safe. When I felt relieved, Soji fell to his knees and started to cough violently. In the darkness, his pale blue coat was black. No, it was stained with red. The hand covering his mouth was red as well. Soji! What's wrong? Are you okay? Anxious, I ran over to him. Soji wiped his mouth and lifted his head.
I'm fine. This isn't my blood. I'm just tired from moving around in this hot room.
Oh, you liar. You sweet, sweet liar. He chuckled and stood up. Really? Are you really okay? As I anxiously asked that, Soji smiled.
Are you that worried about me?
Please don't make fun of me.
Oh, I know. Thank you.
Soji laughed as he said that. We met up with Toshizo, who was stationed somewhere else, and went to help the Aizu domain. After considering the small amount of people who came in, it was an amazing achievement. Even though the Shinsengumi were barely harmed, Heisuke was ill and Shinpachi was injured. Soji's face wasn't just pale, he started to waver. Toshizo commanded him to rest, and he reluctantly followed the orders. I felt bad for tricking the people of Ikedaya, not to mention getting them involved. I was glad Kyoto, Soji, and the others were safe. But that was what I thought, as I was unable to shake my obscure sense of anxiety. Chapter 6, No Need to Be Shy. Well, there's been a lot more action in this route, instead of just sitting home waiting for somebody to come home all the time like in the other route. Yep, again, diving right into the other reading. Hopefully you'll see this next video soon. I'll be right back. Hope to see you in there or in some other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.